Greetings and heartfelt blessings to each and every one of you gathered amongst the listening waves of hell, I don't know, as well as to those of who, in their kindness and grace, choose to listen. I sincerely hope that you are thriving no matter the moment you find yourself in as you hear these words. Today's episode is not just another broadcast, it carries the weight and significance of a truly special moment. Whether you are tuning in for the first time or returning once more, please know how deeply grateful I am for your presence. This is a profound educational episode, a heartfelt explanation of a chapter in history that demands my attention. It demands our attention. When I speak of history, I must convey that it embodies both missteps and the triumphs of our past. And whether you like it or not, it is already unfolded as it has. But I always say what sets our histories apart and gives them meaning is the courage we muster to carve out a different path. And as I speak about carving out a different path, I want to speak about the elegant, the graceful, Miss Helen Williams. Helen Marie Williams Jackson, lovingly known as I stated, Helen Williams. She was born on September 16th, 1935. That's right, her birthday just passed a few days ago. And she departed from this world on July 26, 2023. Since this is the year 2024, that's a year ago. She was just an American fashion model. She was not just an American fashion model. She was a legacy. She was a franchise, a maker of history, a trailblazer, an extraordinary pioneer who shattered the fashion commandments. I, like others, will never forget the legacy she created. So let us pay homage to Helen Williams, a trailblazer who shattered racial barriers in the world of modeling. She was the first African American woman to break through into the realm of mainstream advertising. Born in the vibrant state of New Jersey. She was born in New Jersey in 1937. Miss Williams had an unwavering passion for fashion from an early age, as most of us do, but she did something with it because at the age of 17, she caught the eye of legends like Sammy Davis Jr. and Lena Horne while making her way through the photography world and the photography studio. They recognized her exceptional potential and took her under their wings. It was her determination, her fierce determination, that gave her to be on the pages of such epic magazines like Jet and Ebony. And she was celebrated as African American fashion and lifestyle. And so those magazines did that for our people, African Americans at that time. I remember getting my Ebonies and getting my Jets and being grateful to see such legendary people at the time on the front of those books. And I think I still may have a Ebony or Jet laying around somewhere in my stash of historical stuff. I may need to look back and see if I see Miss Williams on something I have. But she sought to expand her career with other modeling houses. She found herself facing a formidable wall of discrimination due to the color of her beautiful skin. color does so many things to people that it shouldn't do. People are afraid of certain colors when they should be colorblind when they're looking and talking to other people. Miss Williams was not dismayed. It actually made her more stronger, more determined, because she made the bold decision to move to France in 1960, where the vibrant city, the lovely city, the immaculate city, the thriving city of Paris held a more enlightening perspective on diversity. You can also hear stories about Josephine Baker, who made the transition to France, but Josephine Baker has an interesting story as well. But it was there in Paris, in France, that Miss Williams started to flourish. She started to work on such great designs as Christian Dior and making waves in the high fashion world. However, there's always a but. Upon her return to the United States, she was met with the harsh reality that nothing had truly changed. Unfazed, Miss Williams chose to confront the discrimination head on. She chose to take it and spin it to a positive nature, because it was with a powerful voice and an unwavering resolve she used the media as a platform to expose the insidious racism ingrained in the fashion industry. So even in the 60s, people was using social media. Well, it wasn't called social media at the time, but it was a new thing. But she jumped on it early and started using what everyone uses now, and we call it social media. But she was a reason that the fashion industry started to get more eyes on it. And the deep-seated issues needed to be addressed. After years of relentless campaigning, Ms. Williams shattered the racial barriers that once comforted securing models contracts with major American brands. So all of you models can thank Ms. Williams for those big contracts with the American brands. We salute this incredibly talented, radiant, and fiercely resilient woman for daring to blaze a trail and light the way for generations to come. On the fateful day, July 26, 2023, as I told you, she passed, or she walked into the fashion industry in the sky. That's the date that the radiant soul who had captivated our hearts and our minds, Miss Williams, took her final breaths in the care of Morristown, New Jersey, as she valiantly battled Alzheimer's disease. Now I can tell you, my grandmother had Alzheimer's disease, and she would call me my cousin's name, but I never would hold it against her. I'm like, I know she knows who I am, and the name didn't bother me as she called me someone else's name. So you have someone dealing with Alzheimer's disease, don't fault them, fault the disease, but still love them for who they are. And support your local research department for the different Alzheimer's disease, dementia, so they can better prepare and hopefully one day come up with a cure for Alzheimer's, dementia. As a matter of fact, this episode is being brought to you by Alzheimer's, dementia, the search for a cure or whatever department or fund you would like to support with Alzheimer's, dementia. Make sure you support them so other families and loved ones can have those extra moments. Getting back to Miss Williams, just had to mention that because I have dealt with Alzheimer's disease in the past. But even to the end, she was still remarkable. She was still amazing. And at the age of 87, she left behind a world forever changed by her passion, her grace, and her indomitable strength. Her journey inspires us to celebrate the beauty of diversity and of the power of perseverance. In our hearts, Miss Williams will forever shine bright. The closing quote: the little things that citizens do, that's what will make the difference. That quote is from Miss Wangari Maathai, and I have a future episode coming up with her too, but that quote speaks measures for this episode alone. Miss Williams, just for me, I appreciate you for what you did. I didn't get to meet you, but your legacy, your inspiration will live on for generations to come. Every time I go to put on a suit, I'm going to think about the barriers you broke. So if you're in the fashion industry, make sure you never forget the links, the dedication, and the passion Miss Williams had. My closing thought is no matter what life has in store for you, what people try to do for you or to you, I want you to know that when you sit down or you stand up and you take it one step at a time and you think about it, when you continue to move swiftly, move slowly, you are doing it at your own pace. Bless you all. Later.